We're right here in the air conditioning refrigeration department at Capital Area Technical College, Baton Rouge campus. I have with me Mr. Carlton Gordon, who is the instructor here. Okay, so we're going to go and film you with the actual students at the college here and see what a lesson looks like in a day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, let's go check.
Now, all it's nothing, right? Look, see that little light side that comes out. Gladly we had fuse. We didn't have a fuse. Guess what that was called? But you see, I ain't really. That should start to stack. Now, if you pull this off, you stop. So that tells me these safeties are good. Because if it wasn't, it kept on going. But they wouldn't lit. So if I pull this off, this thing may work. Wait a minute. He just the guy. What he said? He just asked me, said, look, you got to use for he's man, y'all could need something to work on in school. And so he brought it. Now a big thing that happen with these things, y'all it's gonna come up here, this is heat season. When these things come on, the very first thing that should run is this pre-purge. So if you call for heat, immediately the use draft motor should run. If it does not run, I'm going these two switches here are your rollout switches. If that flame, for whatever reason, that flame should, these are your jet burners, that flame should be from here back. If they roll out and these flames hit that, I mean they triple instantly. So these two are rollout switches. This one here is a limit switch. This one too. You gotta be careful. See those blue wires going back? Those are limit switches. Those get people a lot. Yeah, those two, one goes around there, one goes around there. So this one has a limit, 3 limits, and 2 rollouts. So when you call for heat, if any one of those open up, it's not gonna go in the heat. And usually, let's see what's gonna happen. Because it depends on which different ones you have hooked up. What they'll do is when you have a fault, it brings the blower on. Because you know if you sit in your house and it's 40 degrees, the blower's running without heat, you got a problem, right? It took me a long time to figure this technology wasn't really out. So man, that's what 10-hour version, read, every tool you get your hands on. Every time you change out one of these boards, they come with information. Every time you change one of these, they come with information. You put the old one in, take the new one out. I would keep the old one and look at the old one, and then the book that comes with it, read it. You'd be surprised how much information is in there just to troubleshoot. Alright, so I pull this out. This is just simulating the rollout switch. So if we push this in, oh, I gotta touch it. Like, see, the blower came on. Now, in the regular heat mode, the blower is the last thing to come on after we light the burner. So, if this blower is running and there's no fire, the customer knows my unit's blowing. It makes the customer call you. Because if they laying in bed and it's blowing air, but the air is not coming out hot, they already say, look, the heat is broke. So they're going to call you out. So if you come out and the blower is running, some of them, most people get handicapped too. They got those little indicator lights on. All of them don't have that. So people are like, well, if you got an indicator light, I just troubleshoot off of that. No. This one, there's no light on there anyway. So you're going to have to know just by looking again. I don't have a diagram for something. I know I have a safety, and then 2 safeties back there like we talked about. So you have to go through what you need and just check across each one. Whichever one be posted, that's your problem, right? But you see that if this is opened up, you won't get any kind of fire. Or this one opens up. They all do in different sequences. That's why you call the heat, first thing it does is go through the safeties and check. If it goes through the safeties, then it brings on your blower. And after it brings on your induced draft motor, then it checks the pressure switch. After the pressure switch is verified, then it tries to spark. So if your pressure switch, which I'm going to open up here, is simulated as being opened up, it will go through that, run this, but it doesn't close this, so the process stops right there. Got me? Now this is good. And the board, I'm saying the board, when it senses all of that, This closes to the board, then for the fire.
You know, somebody was asking me a question about that. How was you? They were saying that it's not technical. You want to explain how technical whatever's going on.
Is it firing up at all?
It's firing up, but flames.
I haven't seen that. A big thing that happens a lot. Over the springtime, when the heat is not being used, birds and dirt dogs. Because this is your exhaust right here. And this exhaust goes all the way up through the house. If there's not a screen to keep it, a bird will go up through the exhaust and build a bird nest on it. That's what causes your roll-off switch to trip. So this thing goes to fire up, and the exhaust wants to come out. It hits that bird nest, it's got to go somewhere. So then what it's going to do, it's going to kick back out on it. That's what's going to trip your limit switch. So this is your roll-outs. If your roll-outs were doing that, I'd look for that. Another thing I see happening is induced draft motor come on and run, and then nothing else will happen. Now you know there's a sequence. Yeah, everything should happen like this, and this. If this induced draft motor comes on, we know the next thing is we should try to light it. If it's a spark igniter like we got here, we should get it popping noise. If it's a hot surface igniter, we should see the hot surface igniter getting hot. So if it were a hot surface igniter and this induced draft motor comes on, the negative pressure switch tells the board that we do have a draft, so it goes in fire up the hot surface igniter. If the hot surface igniter is not getting hot, then we need to stop right there. There's no sense in going any farther than that. I don't need to check my limit switches, because if my limit switches were the problem, I would have got to this point, right? So if my induced draft motor is on, that tells me I have a call, my limit switches, my rollout switches are all good. Why am I not going past induced draft motor? Am I proving that my induced draft motor is running? How do I do that? It's this here. So this goes back to basic electricity. It's a switch. You put your meter across it. If you read voltage, it's open, right? Now, real common thing people do is they pull on this here and just put a negative pressure on it, and if it closes, then the switch is good. What happens a lot, I don't know why, dirt dollars come all the way down up into here, come over here, and this hole just goes into this housing. You take your piece of wire, because usually, you know, your thermostat wires coming in here, don't cut something that's being used. Cut something that's wrapped around. Take it and stick it in there. And you should feel it. See how that went all the way to the back? So if I pinch it off right here, I went that far in there, I know I went all the way to the back. If you take it and stick it, and it goes and stops right there, you got dirt dot that's built on top of it. A lot of times what you can do is just take this and just keep working at it until it pops free. Stick this on, fire up and run. That happens a lot. Initial startup, when people first start firing up their heaters, that happens a lot. This hose, over a period of time, this gets hot. This hose dry rotts. Again, this has to be a sealed hose to have a negative pressure. So if this thing is trying to create a negative pressure, and this hose is dry rotting and cracked, we'll never close the switch. So I've had to replace these hoses out before. Very few times have I had the switch itself go out. There ain't nothing to it. It's just a bellows with a set of contacts, and it works off of the negative pressure. And it's 24 volts, so it's not a lot of current right there. But anytime y'all replace these things, anytime y'all replace these, keep the information that comes with it. Start your library, get your folder, and I don't care if you replace this gas valve. It's going to come with some paper. Keep everything you do. That's how I come to know whatever little bit I know about air conditioning. That's why I come to get it. Keep everything. All right. Yeah, this is kind of from the dressing. Two goes, not to start the house. Two goes to start, which is permitted, right? So, yeah, two goes to start. One goes to start the capacitor, and then start the capacitor. Goes the same side as. You can either put it here with rolling, or you can put it on here with common. It doesn't matter. It's all going back to this leg. So again, I can put it here, or I can come here and slide it here. As long as it's on that leg, it does not matter. Two to start, which is going to be one to start the capacitor. Start the capacitor goes to the same side that you're going to. That's what's getting people is that and the common. When I say 5 to common, I don't mean common on capacity. They call 5 to common capacity. Goes 5 to the common terminal for the compressor. Got it?
All this stuff is new to me and probably the audience, but it looks like you and all the students here understand all these things that you're talking about. Why is that?
Most of these guys you're looking at here had no clue about an air conditioner or none of this. Because this is, a lot of people think that air conditioner is just adding freon to an air conditioner. Not that simple. Most of everybody you're looking at here had no clue about any of this until they come in this classroom. You're looking at guys, everybody in here has been here 12 months. This is a 20-month program. They've been through the 2 basics and 1 advanced group. They had no clue of none of this a year ago.
And I didn't film it, but earlier you guys were in a classroom. It was a setup with desks and a chalkboard. Well, not a chalkboard, whatever you call that. A dry erase board. So you actually have class. Do they take tests? Do these they study and they read a book in order to learn how to do all of this?
It starts out about 50-50. It was 50% class, then lab time, 50% class and lab. And as I said with them, they're in their year of it now. So they're now probably 15% class, 85% lab. So what we'll do is we can't do, nobody wants to go to school for all lab and lecture. But I also can't have you come back here and do all lab work, I'm sorry. So we have to explain what we're doing theoretically, how, why it works, and then we actually come back here and do it. Once they get the basics down, in their first 8 to 12 months, then it's just a lot of lab work. And as you see, we have guys that bring in machines for us to work on. Some stuff is getting donated. So it's not just a bunch of fake simulators or anything like that. We bring in refrigerators. We have a apartment complex that donates refrigerators to us. We do a lot of live work to keep our hands on.
What kind of jobs can they get?
Of course, air conditioning. That's what everybody thinks about is air conditioning jobs. When you go to someone's home, they get refrigeration jobs. Difference between refrigeration and air conditioning. Air conditioning is keeping the house cold. Refrigeration is keeping the product cold, be it a Coke machine or petrochemical. They can get in installing the machine, servicing the machine, repairing the machines. What's big right now is apartments. Apartment maintenance is real big, and they're always looking for apartment complex certified AC guys.
How long do they spend time in class? What do their schedules look like?
Again, it's broken down into you have to do your basic class and then your advanced. The basics, they come 4 days a week because there's a lot to learn. The advanced group, which is what I have here, they come 3 days a week. Now, once you get a year into your training, if you get a job related to what we do, you only come to school 2 days a week, and we give you a grade for going to work, actually.
And they get paid to go to work as well.
And they get paid to go to work. It's not an internship where you just go and work for free and fetching coffee. You get paid on your job, and we give you credit for school for going to work.
And is there a demand for AC and heating, air conditioning repair people?
Yes, this is South Louisiana. I've been doing this 13 years, and I've never not had a job.